Not me literally crying right now in my bed because of freaking Heir of Fire. Are you literally kidding me? Hey guys, Holly J here, aka Planet Ginger, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Today I have another addition to my little mini-series that I've been doing, rereading the entirety of Throne of Glass, and today we will be starting Heir of Fire. I also want to give a quick disclaimer. I will be talking very candidly about Heir of Fire and the Throne of Glass series in general. I would also lump in other of Sarah J. Maas's books, and just to be safe, say if you have not read the entirety of all of her novels, I would close out of this video right now if you don't want any spoilers. I really hope you guys enjoy this little vlog. It's quite the emotional journey, and I did learn quite a lot on this reread. So if you do enjoy, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and without further ado, let's just jump into the vlog. You wanna come say hi? I just got the notification that Heir of Fire is ready for me to read. First and foremost, I was not a Celaena fan when I started this series. I just didn't understand her at first, but then after reading The Assassin's Blade, obviously you get so much more backstory into her life. I am so glad I read it in the order I did this time. I'm catching so many things, as you've already probably seen in my other rereads of The Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, and Crown of Midnight. I'm so excited to start Heir of Fire and look at everything from a completely different perspective. It feels like I'm going home, you know? It just is so homey vibes, and that's literally the update for now. I'm just so excited to start this book. I'm gonna dive right into it. I'm just gonna cuddle up into bed tonight, start reading. I just love these characters so much and this world so much, so I'm so excited. Little update for you. I am currently on page 43. We're in chapter 6 right now. I just can't believe how much of this reread that I'm feeling really stupid about. Like, I'm like, how was I not catching on to this? Basically, the point I'm at right now is Celaena's in Wendelin, and she's supposed to be killing Galen Ashriver. I did not put together when I first read this that she was going to kill Galen Ashriver. He comes into play obviously in Kingdom of Ash, and I remember thinking to myself, I don't remember this dude. I don't remember him ever getting brought up. How is he just like a long lost relative of hers and he just randomly shows up? Now it's making more sense because she was sent to kill him, and obviously she ends up not killing him, so he owes her. That's another debt that is owed to her. I'm understanding that now. Another thing that I think is so funny, this whole thing with Adian, you know right away that that's Celaena's cousin because Chaol puts 2 and 2 together right away. But it's just so funny reading about Adian now, like knowing everything and seeing him interact with Dorian and Chaol and like the king. Poor Dorian. I feel so flippin' bad for Dorian. First of all, he's like the love of my life. He is so alone. Chaol's ignoring him. Celaena just got sent off elsewhere. His dad's forcing him to hang out with Adian. Dorian is just like, I hate my life. I have all this magic. I have to hide that I have all this magic. I do remember reading Heir of Fire and feeling bad for Dorian, but like, I really feel bad for Dorian now. I almost feel like he does not get enough credit for what he goes through in this whole series because he is used to having this like very pampered life. Do you have something to say? Riveting. That's kind of my update for now. I'm not like too far into it. Obviously this is probably 500 and like around 550 pages. So, I mean, we obviously still have a bit to go, huh? We're only at almost 50 pages. I've been kind of falling asleep the past 2 nights while reading, so I haven't gotten a ton of reading done, but we're plugging along. Chaol is just being Chaol. just overthinking everything. Love Kale, but he's just such an overthinker, and it's just making me laugh. It's like, Kale, literally everybody else has way more issues than you. No offense. Selena is with Rowan. She just met Rowan, and we met Manon, if that's how you want to pronounce it, but I'm gonna say Manon, as always. They just introduced her. I forgot about the whole house scene where she like kills those two guys, and I didn't realize like she is pretending to be I don't know if you pronounce it Crochin or Croken. I feel like I always say Croken. She's pretending to be a Croken witch to like flesh out the others so that she can kill them. Again, when I first read that, did not realize that's what she was doing, because, you know, when you read Heir of Fire the first time, she's just like introduced and you're kind of like, who the hell is this character and why do I care about them? And you kind of just like move on. Again, it's fun to reread it and know her now, and I love her. She's like one of my ultimate favorite characters, so it's just cool. I am probably going to read a little bit more and head to bed. I think Abu's getting kind of grumpy with me for vlogging. I will shut up and go to bed. And I will update you guys later. So, good night. Okay, I just have to show you guys the coolest thing. I finally got my projector set up. I just have to show you because this is the coolest thing. So let me back you up. This is like the ultimate reading ambiance, I swear. And I saw some people on TikTok doing it, and now I'm just obsessed with this. So I'm gonna turn off the light so you can just see. Look at how cool that is. My room is like a mystical reading realm. This is how I'm going to be reading here in a minute. For now, we have to make do with the light on because you can't. Oh, sorry, baby. Me literally sitting on a boo. I just am obsessed with reading and having an ambiance on YouTube playing in the background on the projector. It is just the ultimate cozy vibe. I am 32% of the way. I'm trying to think about what's happening right now. Rowan and Aelin just escaped the skinwalkers, I believe. So Aelin was forced to shift, and basically Rowan was like, we're gonna die if you don't shift. Dorian and Sorsha are kind of hitting it off. Even in my first read through, I really liked Sorsha. On this second reread, I'm really liking her. She just is one of those people that just like doesn't want to talk about their own self and their own trauma, and they just want to help everyone else. Her and Dorian were actually really sweet, even though I knew that they weren't going to be endgame. To be honest, this is the vibe that their relationship kind of gives. Hold on, I gotta grab a boo. Abu does really like the projector. If there's like a little fly or something that flies past, he gets a little distracted by it. This might sound kind of bad, and I don't mean for this to be a bad thing, but I think this does happen in real life sometimes too. I think the reason why he ends up with Sorsha is because of his guilt. I think he really liked her, but I don't know if he necessarily felt romantically interested in her. I think he just had so much guilt, and Sorsha was open with him about what his father had done to her and her family. He just had so much trauma from Selena. I think Sorsha was like his outlet at the time, because let's be real, we all know what happens to her. We all know she's gonna die. But that's kind of the energy I get from him and Sorsha's relationship. I think Sorsha was thoroughly interested in him, like genuinely interested in him too, not just because he's the prince. But I think on his end, I think he did care for her. I don't get love from it. I get massive respect, great friendship, but like I said, I do really appreciate him and Sorsha's relationship in this book, and it's really pivotal for Dorian's growth overall. That's what's happening with Dorian. Kale, he followed Adian, and he ended up being with the rebels, and then that's when he told Adian, he's like, yeah, your cousin's actually alive. So Adian knows that Aelin's alive now. And let's see, who else am I missing? Oh, Manon, of course. What is she doing? I know that they got their wyverns. She wants, Titus, I think is his name. The big, massive wyvern that like everybody wants. She's already announced, she's like, I want that one. That one's gonna be mine. And other than that, it's just been kind of going over like the dynamics of the witches. I can just tell you right now, I do not think I'm gonna change my rating on this book. I originally rated it 3 stars. Unless something really drastic happens in this read through, I really think it's still gonna remain a 3 star. It is a slower book, and my gripe with it is literally with Aelin and Rowan. It really shocks me when people try to tell me that Heir of Fire is their favorite. I do appreciate it more the second read through, 100%. Like, I'm picking up on so much more stuff. But Rowan is just so rude to her and so mean. He's not like that normally, and it kind of drives me nuts. Him and Aelin are so insufferable in this book. I actually saw this comment on a video about Aelin and Nehemiah's relationship. They didn't either feel or understand how substantial it was from reading Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight. And I can actually agree with that. She had a full-blown romantic relationship with Sam. Sam allegedly broke her. It seems like she was stronger there than she is with Nehemiah's death. I just feel like she is like so utterly destroyed, and maybe it's just because it was like a second big death that happened to her that like was somebody she cared about. That totally could be it. I do agree that I'm like, am I missing how close they were? And I do know this gets brought up too a couple times. It's not even just about Nehemiah dying, it's also about Hope dying. I think maybe that's more of the point of why she's so upset about it, is because Nehemiah was hope for her, not just like friendship and relationship wise hope, but like hope for like a better world. And then when she died, Aelin was like, that's it, like it's done. But I don't know. Heir of Fire just isn't my favorite book. And I was kind of excited for this reread because I was like, okay, I'm going to get a whole different perspective on this book, and I just don't know if I'm going to. It's kind of the same as how I thought it was. Anyways, that's my update for now. 34% of the way through this reread. We will touch base in a little bit. Good night. Okay, so there's so many cool little things happening. I am in chapter 27 right now. So first and foremost, can we just talk about Abraxas? Abraxos. Is it Abraxos? Abraxas? I just love Abraxos. Like, he is so freaking cute. I almost like want to cry in the scene where Manon falls into the pit. Abraxos is there and he's like the bait wyvern. He's literally there for the other wyverns to like beat him up and stuff, and he just fights back and he is a badass about it. So him and Manon have so many good moments together. They literally just look at each other and you can just tell right away that they're so connected. They do actually mention a couple times in some of the dialogue and some of Manon's own thoughts how there's something tying them together that's like more than just them, you know? She like knows Abraxos is hers. I don't know if you want to call it a trope or what, but I just love like non-human creature being kind of bound to, I mean, Manon isn't human either, she's a witch, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I love the human-esque being being somehow bound to another creature. It's just such a fun bond. The other thing that I wanted to bring up, oh my gosh, they bring up Ren Allsbrook. Now I know who that is. He gets brought up so much in Kingdom of Ash. When like Aelin and Kale were captured by Archer Finn's people and stuff, there was that one guy who's super confrontational, and that was Ren Allsbrook. The older gentleman who's like with him is Martog. I was like, oh, okay, now this makes sense. Now I know who these people are. I'm hoping to finish this up soonish. I feel like once I hit the 50% mark in books, it just like goes so quick after that. I'm gonna go to bed. Good night, and we will talk soon. Not me literally crying right now in my bed because of freaking Heir of Fire. Are you literally kidding me? Thank God I'm not wearing any makeup because that kind of caught me off guard. Okay, when I originally read Heir of Fire, I really was not paying much attention. I can really tell you that right now while doing this reread. So I have this tattoo on my arm. It says Fireheart. Backstory behind that is specifically, I mean, obviously I know a lot of people have Fireheart tattoos. I know a lot of people resonate with these books. But the reason why I got that tattoo is because when I read the scene in Kingdom of Ash, when Aelin is at her lowest point, like she has been tortured, she has been beaten, she is literally at her lowest point. She like basically wants to die because it would be better than what she's going through. Like she is literally at rock bottom. It just hit me so hard, like this person who is constantly putting her life on the line for other people. She is constantly doing things for other people, and she just constantly is getting the end of the stick. Everyone around her either dies or betrays her or both. But in Kingdom of Ash, when she has that moment where she is completely broken, like physically, mentally, she is dying. And then her mom talks to her. She's like, Fireheart, why do you cry? And then she says, because I am lost and I do not know the way. Like literally, I'm tearing up even thinking of that scene. Because it literally speaks to like a part of my soul, and this is me getting vulnerable on the internet. What am I doing? But I feel so seen in that part, because this girl who usually is always put together, always knows what to do, always has a plan, just blatantly admitting she is lost and she doesn't know what to do. That scene is literally why I got my tattoo. So I did not remember that this was originally a quote kind of from Heir of Fire. Rowan was just really rude to her. She like walked in on him tattooing Gavriel, and he like kind of yells at her to get out, and she's like, okay, well, if you would have just told me you were doing this, I wouldn't have even came in, you know, like you don't need to be rude about it. So she leaves, and she's just like really upset, and then she goes and sees Emrys and Luca, and then someone brings up something about Elway, and that just like sends her over the edge. Like they got this thing from Elway that was like the straw that broke the camel's back, you know. So she just is like, I literally don't care about your lives. I don't care about you guys at all. Like she just kind of freaks out on them. Emrys ends up kind of confronting Rowan, and he's like, what are you doing to this girl? Like you're breaking her, and not in a good way. So then there's this part that I hit that like made me just cry. 51% of the way through. Well, on Kindle, the page number is 280. So it goes, there was nothing that could be done to fix her, and she was. A whimpering noise came out of her, lips trembling so hard she had to clamp down to keep the sound inside. But the sound was in her throat, and her lungs, and her mouth, and when she took a breath, it cracked out. Once she heard it, everything came spilling into the world, until her body ached with the force of it. She vaguely felt the light shifting on the lake, vaguely felt the sighing wind, warm as it brushed against her damp cheeks, and heard so soft it was as if she dreamed it, a woman's voice whispering, "Why are you crying, Fireheart?" It had been 10 years, 10 long years since she had heard her mother's voice, but she had heard it then over the force of her weeping, as clear as if she knelt beside her. Fireheart, why do you cry? Because I am lost, she whispered onto the earth, and I do not know the way. I just can't. I just really can't right now. I wasn't even really expecting to vlog. I just thought I would like bring the camera out. This is why I want to be an author myself, because I want to be able to resonate with people like this. I want to write a scene that speaks to even one person, where they can point at it and be like, wow, like this character is me. I think every author aspires to have that moment, and in Throne of Glass, those are definitely my moments. Anyways, hopefully no more tears tonight. I will catch up with you guys later, and I'm gonna go to bed. I finally have a chill, slow day today. Just to catch you guys up at where I'm at, chapter 51. We have about 3 hours and 29 minutes left in the book. So we are getting to the end here. I'm 77% of the way through. We are just at the point right now where everything's about to go down. Oh, we need to talk about the moment. So I have seen this moment talked about literally everywhere. And I wanted to just read that part to you guys because it's a very deep moment in Heir of Fire. And I actually completely forgot that it was in Heir of Fire that this happened. For some reason, I kind of thought it was Queen of Shadows, but it totally is Heir of Fire. Selena just found out that they slaughtered all of the slaves in Calacula and Endovir. Obviously, she's extremely upset about it because she wanted to free these slaves, not only for herself, but for Nehemia, and it meant a lot to her. So obviously that was news that hit her pretty hard. So then we get this moment, and this is not from the point of view of anyone in particular. This is just kind of something that was thrown in at the end of this chapter, but it was such a good addition to the book because it just shows you the tides are turning. I mean, this is kind of the moment where you realize like things need to happen. Selena even talks about this herself, but there's a lot of things that happen to her in her life, and she just keeps running. And she doesn't really just take initiative and be like, okay, I need to do something about this because I'm one of the only people who really can do something about this. And this, I think, was one of those moments where she was just done. She's like, that's it. Anyways, that was when they noticed that every musician on the stage was wearing mourning black. That was when they shut up. And when the conductor raised his arms, it was not a symphony that filled the cavernous space. It was the song of Elwë, then the song of Fenharrow and Melisande and Terrasen, each nation that had people in those labor camps. And finally, not for pomp or triumph, but to mourn what they had become, they played the song of Adarlan. When the final note finished, the conductor turned to the crowd, the musicians standing with him. As one, they looked to the boxes, to all those jewels bought with the blood of a continent, and without a word, without a bow or another gesture, they walked off the stage. The next morning, by royal decree, the theater was shut down. No one saw those musicians or their conductor again. Yeah. I'm like, I even get chills just reading that again. That is just such a big moment, and it just shows you the intensity of Adarlan's rule. It's just a really phenomenal moment, and it's a very well written, simple scene that Sarah J. Maas put in these books that I just like. I really like that scene. So basically, Selena and Rowan are trying to rally troops. They have just figured out that Adarlan's army had followed Selena there, and she was like, I didn't know that this was going to happen. And then not only that, the Valg, which I don't even know if we know that they're Valg, but obviously I know that they're Valg. There's like 3 Valg soldiers like with them. So they're like, oh my gosh, we need to take these people out. When Dorian found out about the slaves all being slaughtered, he really wants Sorsha to go. She's refusing. Obviously, she's like, I want to be here with you. No one's going to be here with you. Like, you need me, blah, blah. We all know how that's going to end up. And then what is Kale doing? Kale is being Kale. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna hunker down, start reading. I'll let you guys know if I have any moments I want to share with you guys while I finish this, but my goal is to try to finish this by the end of today. I should be able to. I don't really have any plans until way later in the day. I will let you guys know if I have any updates along the way, but I am just gonna cozy on up and get reading. I've been reading for a little bit now, and I think I am gonna go to the gym, get on the treadmill, and do some more reading. I just feel like I need to move my body right now. I did take a little reading break. I posted a TikTok because I accidentally got on Wizard 101 TikTok somehow, and so I have gotten back into playing Wizard 101, which is like so nostalgic. I haven't played it in years, so it's been kind of fun. So I did take a quick reading break to play a little bit of that, and then I'm kind of just like needing to move my body. So I want to go to the gym and maybe just like walk for like an hour and read. So we're gonna get some more reading done that way. We got all day to finish this book. So clearly I got kicked out of my chair a boo. He doesn't care in the slightest, but that's okay. We have finished Heir of Fire. I feel like I roughly have the same outlook on it as I did through my initial read. It is still by far not my favorite of the series. I know that there's a lot of Heir of Fire lovers out there because it's Rowan's time to shine. It's hard for me because I just still am not quite understanding, even on the second read through when I know what happens, I still don't quite understand why Rowan is so mean to Aelin. I know his mate died and I know that he had trauma from that. I could not find why he was so rude to her. His attitude to me do a 180. I adore Rowan in Queen of Shadows, but in Heir of Fire, I found his character so annoying and frustrating and just negative for absolutely no reason. I'm not trying to downplay his trauma that he had with his quote unquote mate dying, but there's just something about that dynamic that just never really made sense to me, and it still kind of doesn't make sense to me. The ending of Heir of Fire literally is what made Heir of Fire good. There was so much happening in that ending. You almost have 4 storylines that you have to wrap up at the end, and it was kind of like everything was hitting you all at once because you have Aelin and Rowan and the whole Mistward invasion and the battle there with the Valg, and then you have Dorian and Sorsha, which is kind of like the little B-story romance that's in this book, but it ends up being pretty major to the plot. And then you have Kale and Adian off over here in their own little section. And then you have the Wyverns and Manon and the Blackbeak clan, Adian and Kale and Dorian and Sorsha. That whole scene with the King of Adarlan is so heart-wrenching. Whether you like Sorsha or not, because I think there is some debate of people not really loving Sorsha's character. I've never minded her character. I thought she was a fun little addition for what she was needed for. I do feel bad for the way that she died. I mean, that was a really brutal death for everyone to witness it. Kale, Adian, all of them. All in all, Heir of Fire is definitely one of the slower reads of Throne of Glass, in my opinion. When I reached Heir of Fire the first time I read it through, I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm liking this series. This is so slow and I can't get into it. Then we get into Queen of Shadows and everything changed for me. I appreciate Heir of Fire for what it is, I think. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this little mini series of rereading Throne of Glass. If you are enjoying this reread so far, and if I've said anything that you maybe didn't catch or anything that you want to just chime in about, make sure to drop this emoji in the comments below and please let me know. I love hearing all of the good theories and loves, takeaways, whatever you want to talk about in Throne of Glass. I'm all here for it. I absolutely love this series. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye!